Welcome and Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo. Today we're reading Basics of Buddhism by Pat Allwright. And the section we're on today is Soka Gakkai International. Soka Gakkai International is a worldwide movement dedicated to peace, education and culture based on the Buddhism of Nichiren Buddhism. Soka means value creation and Gakkai means society. The International Society was formed in 1975 in response to an increase in worldwide membership. This had grown from the original Soka Gakkai Value Creating Education Society formed in Japan by the educator Tomisaburo Machugachi 1871 to 1944. In 1930, Makugachi was passionately concerned with humanistic education. In addition to writing about education, he also published a book entitled The Philosophy of Value. It is the creation of value, he said, that enables people to establish happiness and become fulfilled. He met Nichiren Buddhism's Buddhism in 1928 and recognized it as the most effective philosophy and practice for creating value, based on universal concepts and the utmost respect for life. Excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat today. Excuse me. He met Nichiren Buddhism's Buddhism, in 1928 and recognized it as the most effective philosophy and practice for creating value based on universal concepts and the utmost respect for life. The society he established gradually grew from a group concerned solely with education to involve people from all walks of life interested in practicing Nichiren Buddhism's Buddhism. During the Second World War, the Imperialistic government in Japan tried to enforce allegiances to the emperor and the war effort by coercing people into accepting Shintoism as the state religion. Makugachi refused to compromise the teachings of Nichiren Buddhism. For this, he was imprisoned in 1943. Despite torture and interrogation, he refused to renounce his Buddhist faith and died in Tokyo detention house on the 18th of November 1944. Jose Toda, who regarded Machugachi as his mentor in life, was also imprisoned. He survived and was released in July 1945. Despite his weak physical condition, he immediately set about reconstructing the lay organization, renaming it the Soka Gakkai. The membership had collapsed under the government's restrictions, so he started again with a burning desire for peace and the happiness of all people. He condemned nuclear weapons as an absolute evil that threatens the people's right of existence. Under his leadership, the movement grew to more than 750,000 households by the time of his death in 1958. Daisuke Akida became president of Soka Gakkai in 1960 and immediately devoted himself to fulfilling Toda's aspiration for the worldwide propagation of Nichiren Buddhism's teachings. There are now over 10 million members in Japan, as well as around 1 million in 128 other countries. Before the advent of Soka Gakkai, Nichiren Buddhism's Buddhism was little known. This was partly because of government ideology. Freedom of religion was not established in Japan until after the Second World War. Moreover, the teachings were spread little outside a small number of priests and their families. Jose Toda introduced the idea that lay believers should practice Buddhism as Nichiren Buddhism had taught, that is, practice for oneself and others and study of the Buddhism's writings. Toda started a new movement for lay believers centered on the reciting Gonyo twice daily, reading and discussing Nichiren Buddhism's letters and treatises, and propagating his teachings. Until then, it was the Japanese custom that lay believers simply made donations to the temples, and the priests conducted ceremonies on their behalf. Toda also brought into the light of day those writings of Nichiren Buddhism that have been preserved. These writings exist mostly in the form of letters to followers, and Soka Gakkai published his collected writings in 1952. Toda began the widespread propagation of these unique teachings, which had until then been known only to a tiny sect. Jose Toda well, wisdom was such that he recognized the erroneous philosophies led people in the direction of suffering. This was particularly apparent in the Second World War when the Japanese state religion led to unbelievable barbarism and horror. The teachings of Nichiren Daishoshins are based on the utmost respect for life. They clarify the universal law as Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo, thereby providing a means for people to revolutionize their lives, overcoming suffering, and create value for themselves and others. Toda was very close to the retired 59th High Priest of Nichiren Shoshu, Nicho Hori, and they worked together on the compilation of Nichiren Daishoshun's writings. As the membership of the Soka Gakkai grew, the mutually supportive relationship with the successive high priests at the head temple, Chisaki Jai, continued. However, since 1980, when Nikken became high priest, the Nichiren Shoshu priesthood has become increasingly unable to open itself to the needs of a diverse international membership. Practicing Nichiren Daishoshun's Buddhism only as a formality and becoming rich and powerful through the donations of SGI members, the priesthood came to consider itself infallible. In direct opposition to Nichiren Daishoshun's teachings of equality, the high priest placed himself in a superior position to other believers. In 1991, Nikken excommunicated the entire SGI membership in an attempt to destroy the movement altogether. This act is unprecedented in the whole religious history of human race. However, although many members have undoubtedly been confused by this, it has released the movement from the constraints of authoritarianism. SGI is now able to flourish even more in a secular role of contributing to peace, education, and culture on concert with like-minded people. SGI activities are based on the belief that inner reformation of human revolution is the key to creating a peaceful world, as Disciple Akida says. Nichiren Daishoshun, the 15th century Buddhist sage whose teachings we at SGI follow, said, "Life itself is the most precious of all treasures. This respect for life is the essential inspiration." Have I skipped a page? No, I haven't. Have I skipped a page? No, I haven't. Sorry. This respect for life is essential inspiration of the Toda Declaration against nuclear weapons. Herein lies the reason we at SGI aspire for the inner revolution of all individuals. The human revolution that will establish the respect for all life at the basic norm of human society. Life is the world's supreme treasure. There is no value that is worth preserving at the sacrifice of life. The Human Revolution movement is the basis upon which SGI has held various exhibitions such as Nuclear Arms Threats to Our World and World and Peace, designed to raise awareness of nuclear and other global issues. Through these activities, we have worked to expand a network of solidarity among people worldwide. In addition to the exhibitions mentioned above, SGI has co-sponsored conferences and stage exhibitions on environmental and human rights issues. For example, in support of 1992 Earth Summit, the 45th anniversary of the United Nations adoption of the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. The SGI is a non-governmental organization registered with the United Nations, pledging itself to the pacifist principles on which it is founded. SGI conducts many fundraising and relief activities in support of refugees all over the world. In addition to activities for peace, SGI promotes education and culture, recognizing their vital role in the development of the unique creative potential of each individual. In Japan, there are Soka schools at kindergarten, elementary, and high school level. There are also universities in Tokyo and Los Angeles. These are devoted to nurturing people of wisdom and humanity who will contribute to the realization of a peaceful world. Special emphasis is given to respect for the natural environment, appreciation of diverse cultures and traditions, and the development of a global outlook. To this end, there are extensive exchange programs between University and other universities worldwide. There is no religious instruction included in the curriculum, and admission is open to students without regard to religious affiliation. There are numerous other educational programs. The Institute of Oriental Philosophy was established in 1962 and has centers in India, Hong Kong, Russia, and the UK. The Boston Research Center and Toda Peace Institute fosters human rights, interreligious and cultural understanding, and promote cooperation in the building of a peaceful future. Exchanges between people of different cultures as a celebration of this diversity is also undertaken through the Minon Concert Association, which stages a vast range of music and dance. The Fuji Art Museum, founded in 1983 with the motto "A museum creates bridges around the world," and the Victor Hugo House of Literature, established in Paris in 1991, also promotes international dialogue through literature and the arts. The fundamental role of SGI, however, is always to provide a basis for the practice, study, and propagation of Nichiren Daishonin's Buddhism. Members study and discuss the application of Buddhist principles to daily life at monthly meetings to which guests are welcome. They are the backbone of all our activities. In the UK, there are currently around 6,000 members in local districts throughout the country. The National Centre is based at Taplow Court in Buckinghamshire. The the coordination of such a diverse range of activities is possible for a very particular kind of unity. Unlike many organisations, no conformity is required. Individuals are able to give full play to their particular characters and abilities. Unity is based on each person's commitment to human revolution and the creation of a peaceful world. So the last chapter of this book is tomorrow, and it's the charter of the Soka Gakkai International, and it just tells you a little bit about what the actual Soka Gakkai, going deeper about what it's all about, and that'll be the last chapter for this book. And so next time we're going on to a new book, people, and it will be to do with Nichiren Buddhism again. Okay, because this is what this channel's all about. And so until next time, Nam-Myoho-Renge-Kyo.